Welcome to the podcast, Science of High Paid, High Performing, Happy Engineers, the show to help engineers develop all skills non technical. My name is Aditya Gute, and I'm a speaker and a performance coach for engineers to transform them into rock stars.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today we have Bharat Ramesh. He's currently a web developer and multi-faceted professional with 8+ years of experience living, studying, and working in international environments. What's impressive about this guy is he's always learning something new. He's always growing. He's always investing in himself. He's always teaching something to somebody. Someone he does web development training, and most recently he started a new journey as a life coach, helping other students overcome their inner fears and be exposed to unlimited possibilities. Welcome, Bharat. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aditya. It was a great introduction. So thank you so much for that. And, it's my pleasure. And I'm doing really great, to be honest. It's my first ever podcast interview. A little nervous, but little excited. So it's kind of mixed feelings. So yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, Bharat. So glad to be here with you today. So let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about your journey on how you have overcome your challenges to be in this situation right now where you feel super empowered to help others either with technology courses or helping them around their life through your life coaching.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a quite tough journey, and I'll start with my undergrad. After my undergrad, pretty much I started working with Deloitte, and there I've been I worked with them for close to 3+ years. The journey between the Deloitte and after my undergrad was the toughest, I can say, because I was just fresh out of the college and looking for opportunities. I was being kicked out of so many companies because I was not able to clear the interviews and whatnot. So I kind of took 3 to 4 months in isolation in order to prepare and crack every interview I was going through. So I pretty much attended around 100+ interviews during that time. And once I started cracking them, it was really easy for me after that. And I got multiple opportunities. And since then, it's been like that. The whole journey has been more competitive. I've started behaving like that myself. And when it comes to career, I've been really competitive, in terms of getting the best opportunities possible according to whatever my skills are. And post that, I realized at some point I was working with Deloitte for 3+ years, and I was in a position where I was handling multiple teams, and I thought I needed more education in order to get my career to next level. So I came to US, did my master's in Florida, and I did it in computer information science. During the masters, also I got multiple opportunities to do internship, and I ended up doing an internship in Tampa. It's the company is called at Large Inc. in Sarasota, a digital innovation-based company where they are working towards challenging problems in terms of the creating the best web designs or web applications, mobile applications for the organizations around the Bay Area. And after that, I finished my master's during the same time, and I got multiple opportunities again. And I chose Pittsburgh, and I started working with SDLC and Highmark as my client. I worked with them for close to 3 years, then switched to Google. So I did move to Google for a contracting role around 9 months, and then pretty much after that, I came back to full time with Acrylic America. That's a European-based organization, and it's all about digital kiosks and changing technology around the drive-through innovation projects. So with restaurants as well as some of the biggest chains. So it's been a wonderful journey, and yes, there was a lot of hard work behind it, which kind of also helped me. And throughout this journey, I also realized there is more to life, and I started you know, being coached. I got a wonderful mentor called Vamsi Pulimetla from the CEO of Make More Leaders, and I worked with them very closely. And recently, I also worked with Brendan Kumarasamy, another CEO of Master Talk. He excels in communications, and I work with them together, and I'm continuing to do the same. And also met you a couple of times. So yes, it's been a wonderful journey. Thank you.
Right. So so there are different places I just want to go deeper into. Like you said, right after you graduated, right, and there were 3 to 4 months where you're not getting any opportunities. So what if someone is going through the same phase right now? Because right now there is COVID, and
Yeah.
there's at least getting job as an H1B has always been difficult and challenging, especially
Yeah.
for someone who's starting off as for the first time trying to get a job. So, what are some of the tips you can give them, considering you have overcome similar challenges?
Yeah, so I can, step back a little, and I can think, because that time it was not more about technical skills. It was purely about my communication skills, which kind of led me from one place to another, and pretty much, kind of took me to a next level. So when I started looking out for jobs, I was going to interviews. I was being thrown out of the first round, because that's the round where you actually, happen to explain about yourself, kind of personal interview round, and you tell about yourself, and you basically are being assessed over the communication style you have. And during that phase, I kind of understood. I went through a lot of YouTube, uh, because there is a lot of abundant, videos around YouTube. So I went through a lot of YouTube videos, and a few of the courses I was going through, also soft skills courses, email writing, communications, all those things I was personally learning in order to crack the market and get into one of the biggest firms. And luckily I did, but there was a lot of hard work. Also, I started watching movies. I was like, closing myself into a room and started watching English movies, not to entertain myself, but to actually, write down some notes and also use them in the interview settings whenever needed, based on how the questions are from the interviewer. So that whole journey, I think I concentrated more on communications. I can clearly say there were no uh, technical challenges at that point of time. No one was looking, because I was just fresh out of grad. They knew that he has some technical knowledge, and they just want someone who can also be strong and powerful when it comes to communicating with clients, uh, colleagues, whatnot. So there are a lot of collaboration projects. So yes, I think everyone keeps looking for people who are really strong at communications, and I would definitely recommend anyone to everyone to uh, excel in their communications, or hire someone to just teach them communications. I couldn't, but yeah, yeah.
That's a great insight. I've talked to work with a lot of students around career coaching and development, and one of the challenges they do have is in the first round they're being eliminated. And most people don't understand why, because you don't get the feedback immediately saying that your
Yeah,
communication skills
correct.
is. No one is going to tell you. But it's understood that if you're consistently not able to make it to the first rounds, it's probably something you have to look into your communication skills. And what your real advice is, you have taken time to work on your communication skills, to practice them intensively, and focus on just that one area, because you're strong in your technical skills.
And
That's really yeah.
yeah, definitely. I can add that, it's not that time that I was only focusing on communications. Even till date, I've been part of Toastmasters, working with Brandon on Communication Accelerator program. It's never like, journey which can stop. It has to be continuously happening in your life. So definitely you have to keep working on it. Yeah.
Look at you right now. You are super fluent, very articulate in
Hope so.
explaining your story. So Bharat, and also take us a little bit about your journey when you went through career coaching with Vamsi and also Brandon. What were the things that made you want to? I mean, you're doing great by yourself, right? You have really good job. You bought a new house in Pittsburgh. You don't have to do anything. So, but what made you want to invest and learn and grow?
So I think it's kind of my own thing, where I always felt there is a lot of self education that is needed in terms of life. And Wamsi came into my life exactly, or perfect timing, I can say, when I was going through a lot of career switch, jobs, and also I was not clear on what my future is like, and what am I planning in future. So I was working with Google at that point of time, and I wasn't really serious in terms of the job that time. And I think, Vamsi, I was just looking and hoping someone could call me and tell me, I will help you and motivate you through your life. And Vamsi called. It was really a coincidence. He called after like almost a year, and he said, I wanted to you know start a journey of make more leaders, and would you be willing to be my first or few of the first students? And I said absolutely. I didn't even think through. I just said yes, and I went in. The only reason was I wish we had life coaches at earlier stage of our lives, because when we are actually going through college and just getting into job, we actually don't realize the importance of the whole life in general. And there are so many challenges, so many boundaries you create your on your own, which I think are like limiting beliefs, I can say. So are not something, they don't exist. So people like these are kind of a powerful, I can say, like they are really powerful in terms of getting you out of the comfort zone and telling you that there is no limiting belief and pushing you, because there are a lot of other masterminds in the group. And I was the youngest, and I also got multiple opportunities to work with those masterminds and get out of my comfort zone. And I was able to see within 3 months where I was going towards. And let it be health, wealth, career, relationships, whatever you can say, like all the four wheels of your life were pretty much getting towards being aligned. And yeah, I can definitely not thank him enough. I'm extremely grateful that he chose me to be part of his group. And after that, there is no looking back. Pretty much, I've been very consistent with my self education throughout last year. And we started actually working in from 2019 November or so. And it's been a continuous journey. I've been working with them and multiple other opportunities throughout the same journey. I got to start working with Brendan. Why Brendan? He's amazing. He's extraordinary when it comes to communications, and he has so many accolades and awards in terms of communications. Let it be teaching to uh, big professionals like CEOs or CFOs. And when I got the opportunity through Vamsi, you should join this, I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to try this too. And hopefully it works out for me. So far, I've been really consistent. I need to definitely work through another year with them. And I'm 100% sure it's going to be effective. And I can start my own journey on my own this time with some little directions with them. And that kind of directions overall is needed for anyone to succeed. And I feel like, again, this could have happened earlier, but luckily I had wonderful managers back then. One of the manager was Abhishek Garg in Deloitte, who kind of showed me the right path, keep asking questions, all those things. Yes, I've been always self-motivated, and I think this is what I needed the most. And I luckily found the best coach. Uh, in my inner circle, it was really great working with him, and also Brendan. So yeah.
And so you had all those limiting thoughts back then, and you were not able to realize it. And coaches, as coaches, that's what we help others overcome those limiting thoughts. Many of them are hesitant about the process, right? Hey, I'm not sure if this works or not. Who's this guy? And what is this process going to be like? And oh my God, this investing so much amount of money. So what were some of the things that were going on in your mind saying yes at that time, and what are your suggestions to some of them who might be going through the similar blocks around investing in themselves?
Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, that's, I think, a good topic you brought. There is a lot of money involved, yes, and why I chose this path, even though it's definitely expensive to hire a life coach and work with them. Also, Brendan is really almost like a life coach. He kind of also got some of my life purposes out of my own, life, and it was really wonderful seeing that. So why I chose what I chose, because I knew whatever I was investing was this much, according to me, but the outcome, I'm sure 100%. Like, let's say for example, I'm investing $5,000, but the outcome and the kind of network I built and the opportunities I got created for myself are worth more than $1 million, so for sure. And I've been working with multiple business opportunities, working with few of the other partners, create some extraordinary businesses. So yeah, and I don't think that whatever we are, again, like limiting belief of using this much expense towards your self education, you're not really sure whether it'll get paid back. I'm 100% sure it gets paid back as long as you're consistent, you're working, you're ready to work towards it. And it's not going to be easy. It's definitely very tough, working with Vamsi. In fact, just in terms of health, we ran around 500 miles just in 1 year. And it's not easy. Like, I ran so many half marathons throughout the year. I haven't, like, I don't have count anymore. And that was my first year that I started running a half marathon. This is just, in terms of the health. And same thing with wealth or career and relationships. I've been really doing great, and I wish for everyone to have someone working with them and kind of show them the exact clear path where they want to go, or what the real purpose of their life is. I still have no clarity, because it's not easy to get the purpose uh, out yet. I'm still working towards it, and I'm sure I'll get through it. And there are a few things I'm taking challenge, like challenge in general, towards how I want to become a really good life coach, all those things. So yeah.
Great. I think that's a very well put, which is what you're basically saying is you are motivated by the possibilities of creating more. It's not about how much you're investing upfront, but what can you create out of that investment. I think that's a really powerful insight, Bharat. So, lastly, you're now on a journey as a life coach, helping other college students overcome those inner barriers. So, tell us a little bit about what your process is like and how you help others.
Yeah, definitely it was challenging, especially when you try to kind of explain how you're going to help someone out of the misery they are in currently, or the kind of situations they are in, whether it can be finding the right career, or finding the right journey for the next path. It's not easy for us to explain them, but most of the times everyone has that phase where they happen to go through, and luckily if they go through at early stage, they automatically choose someone else to guide them through. If they don't really go through that process, they never really know, okay, I don't think this is going to work out for me, because my life is already great. But that is the kind of mentality or mindset that has to change, because there are so many things you can explore or learn throughout this lifetime. And you never know what kind of potential you actually have, which can get out of your own self because of someone else driving you towards that. And I think pretty much this is really needed. I'm just that's my thought again. So it's, I think, definitely works. Yeah.
100%. I mean, I resonate so much with you because I've been on the same journey myself.
Yeah.
And life coach is the one who has completely shifted my life. And so I went through coach training program myself, and I do similar things for others. So, any final thoughts, Bharat, before we um, end this conversation?
Yeah, I can say, success is when opportunity or the preparation meets the opportunity, and you have to prepare yourself throughout your life. And if someone else is taking interest in order to help you get through that stage, you should definitely opt for it, because if you cannot take care of yourself, someone else will, and you don't want that to happen. So in order to take care of yourself, first you need to actually get the right guidance, right direction. And a lot of mastermind groups will help pretty much to achieve whatever you want to. It can be different based on what your interests are, but being around masterminds actually helps. Like someone said, you become the average of five people you surround yourself with, and you should always be in the proximity of the best people. And that's pretty much what I trying to do every single day, being with you as well. So that kind of adds up to my life. So yeah, thank you.
That's very well put, Ramesh. It's a journey that we all have to continuously go through. Otherwise, life is going to direct the way it wants us to direct. Instead, you can be proactive and take actions in the direction you want it to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bharat, for being here and sharing your message with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. I was really nervous and excited at the same time. I think we did really great, and really, really grateful to for this opportunity. Thank you again, Aditya. You have a wonderful
Of
evening.
course, Bharat.
Yep. Take care.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening to my podcast. Hopefully, you learned some important nuggets to uncover the rock star from inside of you. If you have any questions, you can reach me on my email at aditya@whoweare.io. It's ADITYA at whoweare.io.